Welcome to Street Talk. I'm Loretta Rose. Today we are on location at Russell County High School. Today is a special edition of Street Talk. Today we are going to have a story of hope and inspiration. You're going to hear from a student that is just so amazing and incredibly talented and motivated. Today, we're going to talk to Sergio Ortiz. He's a graduating senior. He is the one that has been awarded with over $800,000 of scholarships. We're going to hear from him and hear the hope and inspiration behind his story. I'm sure it's going to encourage you. Thank you for watching Street Talk. I'm Loretta Rose. You're watching it here on CTV Beam. Welcome to Street Talk. I'm Loretta Rose, and today we are bringing you a special edition of Street Talk. Today, this story is going to be a story of hope and inspiration. I am sitting here talking to a wonderful, amazing, incredible student, Sergio Ortiz. We're here at Russell County High School. He will be graduating very soon, and we have an opportunity to come in and talk with him. He has so much success to share with others, and I know it's going to be an inspiration and a story of hope to you. So welcome to the show, Sergio Ortiz. Thank you so much for your time. I know you've been practicing for graduation, and we appreciate your time. I am just so proud of you. I have been inspired by your story, and we just wanted to come in and have a sit-down conversation with you and let you share your success with hope that it will be an inspiration to others, and I know it will. So congratulations.
Thank you. It's really been an honor not only to have you here and to get interviewed for this, but really to be able to tell the story of how all this came to be about, and hopes of giving hope to others, because I know when I was young I really needed that hope, especially not knowing English and coming here into basically a whole strange new world where I was really an only person, because I was even from a little kid, I was always told that I was going to be the first generation to not only finish high school but hopefully finish college, and hopefully even after that start a career in something successful. And that was really a lot of weight on my shoulders even as a little kid, especially since I didn't know English and I was having just a lot of trouble in school right off the bat.
Wow. You cannot tell you struggle with English. You speak so well.
Oh, well, it was something I really worked hard at, because I knew it was going to be a big part of my life, especially for scholarship essays, for talking interviews, giving speeches and all those things. So I knew I had to get better at it fast, especially since I was already so far behind my other classmates that already knew so much more than I did and how to use it a lot better than I did at the time.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's right there. You're encouraging a lot of people by just sharing that. Now, you have been around in the Russell County School District for a very long time. As you can see, he has, if you have followed his story, you've attended elementary school in the Russell County School District and now about to graduate. So therefore, it lets us know that here in the Russell County School District, the educators have been a very vital part of your success as well, with pushing you and encouraging you along the way as well.
Yeah, especially Russell County. I know they get bashed on a lot for supposedly not having good teachers, or people getting online and writing bad reviews about the school. But honestly, even statistically, that we're one of the better schools in the area. Not only looking at our attendance, grades, our test scores, which have really gone up in the past years, especially with Miss Baker being our new principal. She's put in a lot of reinforcement and a lot of authority in not only her position, but also within her faculty and staff that really has led us to get a more disciplined and a more educated school system here at the high school, and also a lot of support from our superintendent, Brenda Coley, which helped a lot of these trophies behind us actually happen. And along with the trophies,
Nice.
she also helped with the jazz band, and she has also helped with getting money for new uniforms for a band program that is really the reason that I stayed here at Russell County, because where I live, I actually am in between Smith Station, Central, and here.
Wow.
And the reason I really, not only because I really liked how Russell County was basically doing their own thing as opposed to what everyone else was doing, especially since other schools like Smith Station and Central got a lot more funding than we do. But the band program was something that really helped me, not only when I was younger, especially starting off in 7th grade, realize that music is something that's like its own universal language, because you can come from wherever, whatever race, ethnical background, or nationality, and you could read the language that really is music, because no matter what language the title may be written in or the composer might be, that anybody can really pick up the instrument and play the music that's on the paper, because it's something that's universal. And I thought that in itself was a beautiful concept and something that we should all be more open to thinking about, like how we're all humans, we're all in this together, like this is our world to make better, and it really all starts with us and what we decide to do with it.
Now, Sergio, you're gonna make me start back crying. He had me in tears before we went on air, but I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna do my best, because you are such an inspiration, and you're right. This is our world, and we are the change we want to see. I cannot stress that enough. But for those that are watching, to see all of these trophies behind us, I asked where would Sergio would like to have his last high school interview. And he chose the band room. So that's where we are here at Russell County High School. This room is very dear to his heart. And as you heard him say, this is a place where you come in and the language is the same with everybody. And that's the ability of music. It's a gift in itself.
Yeah, especially to be able to not only appreciate music, but also to be able to play it and really put your own style and personality into what you play, because being a musician is something that is not only difficult, but also fun, and really allows you to be creative, because you have what's written on the paper, but you can put your own personality into doing the different, doing like accents or things of that nature to make the music something else, something that basically give your own perception of how you think it should be played and how it should be brought to others, or really presented to others.
Now, what instrument? Because everybody's probably wanted to know, like, what instrument you play?
I play the trumpet and the saxophone.
Oh, okay. So in 7th grade, that's when you developed the interest of being in the band?
Yeah, 7th grade, I really wanted to play guitar, which was something that we didn't have here, but I knew in like other Columbus schools. My friends were telling me about how they wanted to start playing guitar, but they told me that they didn't do stringed instruments like that here, and so trumpet was something that my parents were both able to afford, and something that I had an interest in, because it was something that I really grew up around, because my grandpa was actually a musician too, and he played, his preference was the violin, but he also played things like, I don't know what it's called in English, but in Spanish it's called a mandolin, and it's a really unique instrument that has its own unique sound that I can't describe, but I always love to hear him play, especially to hear the stories of my dad when he was younger, just sitting there basically awed to see my grandpa play, and which was another reason that I did it, because I wanted to make my dad proud of me and give him a reason to basically claim me as his, because he was always a man that was hard to impress, and a person that was never really satisfied with anything that I've done. But up until recently, I heard my dad tell me for the first time ever that he was proud of me, and that he was proud to have me as his son, and that in itself was something that I've really worked hard for all my life, and it really not only shook me, but also kind of made me feel satisfied with what I've done, because I've never heard my dad tell me he's proud of me, because he was always, like I said, he was always strict and hard to please. But when he told me that, I felt really satisfied and a sort of feeling of accomplishment that
Yes.
that I've done
Yeah.
enough to not only please my dad, but also the people around me.
Oh wow, honey, you have. Oh wow, that's just. I know they are super proud of you, because we all are. People that don't know you are proud of you. People that don't know you feel like they know you, because there's a story within yourself that resonates with them. They can see themselves. You've had struggles like many other people have struggles, but you did not let that deter you on the vision that you had for yourself. And I just know your parents are super, super proud of you. For those of you that don't understand the story of Sergio, he has been awarded over $800,000 of scholarship. To be exact, is what, like 814?
14,363.
Wow. That is a lot. And you have so many options. You're in a position that many people dream of being in. I mean, you're like overflowing. Your cup is running over with blessings. And to have a GPA, I'm going to let you tell them what it is.
It's 4.65.
Awesome. You have worked hard. I mean, oh, wow. When I saw that, I said, this young man is amazing. You are amazing. So how did you begin to even get it to that point? Is it that you were just working hard, or did it come effortless? Because some people feel like, some don't have to do a whole lot of studying. I mean, people want to know, they want to get inside of, how did you get to this point?
Well, I wish I could be one of those people that was like effortless with like studying and all of that, but that really wasn't me, because I came here not speaking English and whatnot. But all that really, everyone really labeled me as like a failure, like off the bat, because I couldn't speak the language. Like I was born here, but my parents were both immigrants that were already looking to get their legalization, which happened. Thank goodness, happened in 2010. So both my parents are now legal residents here. Yes. But up until that point, all I had known was the cultural background of what my parents knew from their own home countries, Mexico. And other than that, I was people already really didn't think I was gonna go anywhere other than be like my parents, not graduate or not even really make it past elementary school. But that, as a little kid, it really hit me hard, because I really just wanted to go into school, have fun, be with friends, make friends. But already right off the bat, they were telling me, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna be able to be the top of your class, or get a high GPA, or go to college and all of this. And that really hit me hard, because that's not the kind of thing you want to hear as a little kid.
Exactly.
And especially when you're starting off school, it's not really something that pushes you to work. And for the longest time, that's where their whole purpose of that seemed to me like they didn't want me to do anything with my life. And for the longest time, I really dwelled on that, because it was something that I'll never forget, because it was like a lot of emotion, a lot of me being by myself, because I couldn't talk to anybody else. I couldn't communicate, so I couldn't do work. I couldn't hang out with all the other kids, so I was isolated for a lot of the time. And then all that changed when my ESL teacher came, and that's when it all really started, how she changed not only my perception of myself, but also how I looked at the future. And before that, it was something that was very gloom and depressing, because it was not something that I thought was going to be what I wanted it to be. Of course, I wanted to have a good home, children, be able to provide for my family in their older years. And so that really, after I was able to have more confidence in myself, I made it my mission, not even a mission, I made it my life goal to prove all these people wrong, prove all that what I thought was a curse back then of me being Hispanic, of only knowing Spanish. I decided to turn that around and make it something positive for myself, and eventually make it something that I can give back to my family, which is why I decided that I was going to work so hard, that I was going to really push myself to the limits to see how far I can make it, to see how far I can get my GPA up, to see how far I could make it as far as education, to see how much money I could get in scholarships, to see how many colleges I could get into, and really to see how many people I could prove wrong and how many stereotypes I could break. Especially, I know recently there was that lawyer that went on that racist rant about Spanish and how this is America and how you have to speak English, and that really applied to me, especially when I was younger. That, yeah, I knew I had to learn English, but I knew Spanish was something I was not going to forget. Even if this was America, I was going to incorporate Spanish not only in my life, but also in my career. And recently, it is something that actually led to me winning the page 1 foreign language category for the Ledger Enquirer, which is something that we have not had in our school since 2005. So really, I'm the first page 1 winner for my school since 2005, which is something that it's like sort of like something that I'm gonna leave as a sort of legacy for other people, for other people to look at and hopefully top me, because I would love to see more page 1 winners. But as far as my me winning that award, it was something that really is something that I have to show for myself, and something that I have to show for all the hard work that I've done, and something to show for all the people that didn't think that I could do it, and especially to show all those people that only speak Spanish or are struggling to learn English that Spanish is definitely not a curse. It is definitely not something you want to get rid of or forget or not learn, because it is something you can later apply into your life, especially with the different ethnicities and things of that nature that are coming in or speaking different languages. And really, there's also money in being able to speak multiple languages, especially with being a translator. I actually went to try and see if I could be a translator for AFLAG.
Wow.
And I'm waiting on a call back for that sometime. Hopefully it'll be sometime soon. But yeah, other than that, it's really something that pushed me to do better than anyone ever thought I could do, to prove them wrong, and to prove to not only myself now, but to look back at the little kid that I once was and be like, I did this for you because you were alone and depressed and nobody believed in you, but you would eventually come to believe in yourself, and look where you made it.
Beautiful, beautiful. You all are listening to Sergio Ortiz, and when I tell you this is a story of hope and inspiration, they're changing the world. We'll be right back. You're watching Street Talk. I'm Loretta Rose here on CTV Beam.
My favorite times here are probably the ones that I spent in band class. I know a lot of people think of band as just something that, like nerds do, but it's really a lot more different than that, because I was in the marching band and we got to do so many things. We got to go to different places all over Alabama, and we even got the chance to perform in Orlando for the Walt Disney Resort, and that in itself was a lot of memories made, a good time spent. And on top of that, being part of the soccer team was also something great. I made varsity my freshman, junior, and senior year. And my junior year, we actually went to the playoffs for the first time ever in Russell County history. And that in itself was just a lot of good times, like just all around a lot of hard work and dedication here that will really shape me into who I am in my future.
Welcome back to Street Talk. I'm Loretta Rose. We are on location at Russell County High School in the Russell County School District. We are having a great time talking to Sergio Ortiz. He is an incredible high school graduating senior that is changing the world, changing his community. And it is a story of hope and inspiration that I am just so elated to bring and share with the community. Thank you again. You are one smart young man.
Well, thank you.
17 years old.
Yes, 17.
Wow.
Soon to be 18.
Soon to be 18. Wow. And I hear you take pride in your appearance. You keep that hair right.
Oh yeah, it's something that it takes a little bit of time, but it does. Thank goodness it doesn't take a lot of product, which is something that I only use for like when I'm taking pictures and stuff. But for the most part, it just stays like this.
I like it. You're cool. You're cool. I heard that you like to keep it together, and I'm just so proud of you. Many people want to know, and I have some young people that ask this question: where did he find all these scholarships? First of all, let them know how many.
There was actually numerous scholarships. I don't remember how many, but there was 11 colleges that I applied to, and some of them had their own a separate link for like outside scholarships or other merit scholarships. But for the most part, I used this. I think it's called Fast Web Search, and that and scholarship.com, which is something that I typed in my information and that they would send me scholarships that I could apply for that fitted my major, my interests, that I qualified as far as GPA, ACT, and things like that stuff, nature.
So what is it that you're wanting to do, long term? I mean, what are you going to school for, and what is your ultimate goal?
I want to be a biology major, so that way if I can't pay for medical school like right outside of college, I'll have an actual degree that I could do something with. But as far as long term, I would like to have a career in the pharmaceutical industry. I would like to be a pharmacist or maybe even be a pharmaceutical engineer.
Awesome. Wow. So, I was listening to you, and you talked about wanting to be an interpreter. And I know this sweet lady, Professor Hayes, and she's going to be happy to get a chance to meet you.
I would love to meet you.
Yes, because she's an interpreter also. And you all have a lot in common. So you're going to love her when you meet her. I had the opportunity of collaborating with her for this forum that we had in Columbus, and she invited me to be a part, and it was to bridge gaps with stereotypes and breaking diversity in our communities. And it was various ethnicities that came a part of this forum. And in there, when I was listening to you, and I'm thinking about the moment when I was there, and I realized being there that no matter our ethnicities or what part of the world we come from, we all have struggles. We all. And when we were in the room together, we all have had our struggles. And I was listening to you, and you're going to be great to be a part of the next one. What would you do if you had anything that you could do to be a voice for the Hispanic community? What would you do to help change it, to make it better, to just help us as a whole, a community as a whole? Because you have such a heart for people, and you see everybody as one human race. And that's how we all should see. That's why this is a story of hope and inspiration, because this is the way we're supposed to be. And with the way you're moving forward in life, I know you're just going to change the world. But I want you to give some of that to share so someone else can pick it up and we can make it happen. What would you do to bridge that gap?
Well, my inspiration for that was my little sister, because she's just such a friendly person that she can meet anybody and she'll just want to get to know them, get to play with them, and just hang out. And such a pure way of seeing her fellow people is something that I really realize that is something that should really be brought back into us, not only as adults, but us as in like different people that all have something to give to the back to the world, that should be used, really exploited using in a good way to give back and make the world that we live in a better place.
Absolutely.
But as far as what you were asking, it's I would really like to expose people to the different cultures that come with being Hispanic, because there's a lot of different kind of Hispanics. There's Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Colombians, Dominicans, and they each have their own culture. I know there's a stereotype of anybody that speaks Spanish is automatically Mexican, and which is not really true, because there's so many different forms of Spanish. I know that our salutatorian, she is Puerto Rican, and me and her speak a different kind of Spanish, even though we're basically not even in our home countries, or not even really that far from each other. But it's still a different kind of Spanish, and that's what that's what I think people don't understand, is that there's so much. When you say Hispanic, you're talking about a big
Yeah.
group of people
Yes.
that each have their own culture, have their own food, have their own traditions, have their own rituals, rites of passage, and all of those things. And that's what I think people don't understand, and what I would like to really show people and really take them and introduce them into what it's like to be a Hispanic, because there's so much that comes with the title of Hispanic or Latino, and that's just such a big weight that every individual Hispanic carries on to their children and their children's children.
Yes.
And it's something that is really inspirational, and is because of all the different stories, all the oral traditions, all the different sayings that have so much meaning, that could come from 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, or even who knows how many years ago,
Yes.
that has been passed down, and really just expose people to what it is, what it means to be Hispanic, to come from a different place, and to bring all these different foods and traditions and all of that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Wow, I am just so super proud of you. You are like top, ranked real high up in your class. Let us know.
Yeah, I'm in the top 1% of my class. I'm the class historian. I'm number 3, and which was something that I really worked hard to, thanks to the support of my teachers, my family, and more specifically my mom and dad.
So, before we take another break, I want to ask you this, because the community want to know, everybody want to know probably, where are you going? You have all these offers, but do you know where you're going, or just kind of allude to the fact, or there's a possibility?
I was really thinking about the University of Alabama in Birmingham, University of Georgia, the University of North Alabama, and of course the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, especially since the University of Alabama is something that came pretty recent when I went to Boise State, and it was a place that not only looked beautiful, but also had so many different opportunities as far as education, as far as career choices. And that in itself was something that really took hold of my heart, and was like, I would love to come here to be able to call this my home for the 4 years that I'm able to, and to eventually see myself graduate. So those are my top choices as of right now. But also, as of pretty recently, I was informed by my school counselors that there is a chance that I could maybe attend a Ivy League school at basically a free cost because they would be paying for most of it based on my academics, my all the different achievements and awards I have, and as well as me being a minority. So really just goes to show that you being a minority really doesn't have anything to do with where you can end up, because now as a little kid, I always dreamed of going to like Duke or Harvard.
Wow.
But I never thought it would be an option because everyone talked about how much money it is, how you have to be really smart, how you have to be basically a genius, and now that's an option for me.
Wow.
And now that's something that I would never thought would be possible. But again, where you come from, sure, it affects you, like that's where you start off, but in the end, where you end up, that's really up to you. And that's really the beautiful thing of life, because where you are now can be completely different from where you end up. And you just have to look past where you are now, look past. I know it was difficult for me, but I looked past all the obstacles, all the different challenges, all the people, especially all the people that will tell you no, all the people that will tell you that you can't do it, all the people that will tell you that that's not going to be you, that why would it be you, and that they're just going to put you down. But you have to look past all of that. You have to look past where you are and look to where you could be, to where you could end up, to the people that you could meet. And even then, when you succeed, there's always going to be people that don't like what you do. There are always going to be people to show hate. But you have to realize that you did it for yourself, and that's what's really most important. And that if you have satisfaction with what you've done and with what you've been able to give back and also receive with all your hard work, is something that you should be proud of yourself. And if people are going to hate on you for what you've done, though, that's their own business. But you do what you can do, and as long as it's something that, well, to me, is something that should be giving back to not only where you came from, but also for you.
Wow. You know, I am so proud to know you. I am so proud to know you. You are leaving a mark here that is just will forever be undeniable. I mean, it is just here forever. I'm just speechless about who you are. You are changing the world. We're going to come back and we're going to wrap it up, and you're going to hear some inspiration. You've heard a lot of it from him, but you're going to hear a closing inspiration. I'm Loretta Rose. You're watching it here on CTVB. And now I'm talking to the principal, Dr. Baker, here at Russell County High School. Dr. Baker, thank you for your time, because I know you're all over the school. The students, I've had the opportunity to talk to some of them, and they speak so highly of you. So first of all, let everyone know how long you've been here at Russell County High School.
Okay. I've been at Russell County High School for 2 years. I've just completed my second year. I came here from Mount Olive Primary School, in which I had been principal for 4 years. So it's been a great leap, a great difference, because I went from primary students to high school students, but it's been a great journey because I have some wonderful students here to support.
Yes, and they love you, and I've watched how you are involved with them. She treats them like they are her children. She loves on them. And I love the fact that one of your students were saying that how you're firm too.
Right.
That love and firm, it goes hand in hand. And you care about them in their future. That says so much.
Right. Well, I try to treat them like my own children. I have 2 biological children that I am very firm, fair, and consistent with. And I treat these children like that because when they're not home, they technically are my children when they're in this building.
Yes, ma'am.
I am a parentis loco parent.
Yes.
And I want them to know that I care about them, but I want them to make wise choices on a consistent basis, not just sometimes, but try to do the right thing.
Absolutely. Let us know your vision for Russell County High School, because Russell County High School has really went to a whole nother level over the last couple years.
Well, my vision when I came in, I did some assessments to see what exactly I was working with. And I think a smart leader will go in, assess it, not make any changes until you know what needs to be changed. And if there are practices that you want to see in place that are not in place, then slowly implement those so that they can be accepted and they can be bought in by those who have to participate in that. And the one thing that I saw coming into Russell County High School is that we have students from all over the county that come from all different communities all over the county. So my priority, of course, is always safety and then academics. But I wanted our students to come into a culture where there was school pride, that they were motivated intrinsically, and that we actually walked into the building and not be so concerned about coming from this community or that community, but coming into Russell County High School and knowing that we're all Russell County High School warriors. Wow. So that's my vision, is to have a culture in which we as a school, the community embraces, our parents embrace, to know that we are all one family working for the same purpose, which is to make sure our students get the best that they have, the best that we have to give to them, because when they leave us, they're not always just going to be Russell County citizens. Right. We want our students to be exposed so that when they go anywhere, they can be worldwide productive citizens. So my vision is to create a school and to keep that creation going that will show our students that no matter from where you come, it's where you're going, and don't be so concerned about who is looking at you from where you've been, but to know that the sky's the limit, and don't embrace that as it's only just because.
Wow. I think that's embedded in your students, that what you just shared, because they all see beyond where they are or where they have come from, and their vision is beyond what we see. As I had the opportunity to talk to some of your students today, and I was like, you guys are so amazing. Now, when you come on the grounds here, the campus at Russell County High School, there is renovation, expansion that's taking place. Let us know what's happening here.
Well, we are very, very lucky. We are getting some aesthetics to our school. It was really done for safety purposes, because initially when you came to Russell County High School, which was built around 1989, there was just this slew of glass doors. And you would come in those doors, walk through the building, walk through our commons area, which is our cafeteria area, and then get to the main office. So for security purposes, the district looked at where we were and to make sure that we were monitoring who was coming in and coming out of our building on a consistent basis. They went back and looked at a floor plan that would not only bring security to our school, but give us a facelift. So we're actually adding 4 office spaces, a conference room, restroom area, so that when parents come into the building, that they are greeted by a receptionist upon entering before going all the way through and getting to the main office. And it's just going to be a beautiful, beautiful addition. It's already almost completed, not yet open for business yet, but it will be open very soon. And we're just very, very fortunate to have that done to our school.
Awesome. Now, we had an opportunity, and thank you so much for allowing us to collaborate with doing a story of hope and inspiration on one of your students, Sergio Ortiz, phenomenal student. Please share with us, what would you have to say about this young man? Because I know everybody just loves him as well.
What I would say is what everybody is seeing and what you've read about him, what you know about him, is who he is. He's very responsible. He's very mature. He's very driven, self-driven, and he has come from a long story of where you probably wouldn't have thought he would have ended up where he is now. When he came to the United States, he has told me his story that he spoke no English. He enrolled in school. When he went to school, he didn't speak any English, so the kids bullied him and they didn't accept him, and he felt isolated. He wasn't doing well in school, but he had a teacher and then several teachers that impressed upon him that he did have the ability to do well. They worked with him. He learned the English language, which now if you heard him speak, you would not know that it's his second language, but he learned the language. He became an interpreter for his parents, most importantly, I think, for his mom, and he has just been just a great role model. I mean, he is one of those students that you would take and you would just clone him because of his mannerisms, because of his characteristics, his academic ability, and his ability to be successful, because he's going to be successful. And I'm just proud of Sergio because he's number 3 in a class of 243. He started out as a student who didn't even speak English.
Exactly.
Now he's at the top of his class, graduating number 3 with over $800,000 worth of scholarship offers and awards. He can pick wherever he wants to go.
Exactly.
Out of 11 schools, he has basically a full ride to any of those schools. And as his principal of 2 years, and just to see him from last year to this year, not much has changed other than the fact that he's getting ready now to graduate. He's had those same characteristics, and I'm just proud of him.
And I know that makes you proud as a principal for your students, to see your students to have all of these different options and opportunity. As a principal, I just know that just does your heart good.
It does, and it's really bad because, unfortunately, a lot of times people think of Russell County as being just Russell County. Well, we're not just Russell County. We are the Russell County, and we are going to continue making a statement because we do have phenomenal students. Sergio is just one of many that we have in our building that people don't know about, and it's okay. But we're going to push our students to let them know whether you are known or not known, you still have the same capabilities of anyone who's out there. And I think my students now understand that, and they know that because this year alone, we have already, at this point now, we're still counting, but our students have accumulated over $4 million in scholarships. We have over almost $700,000 of students who have military enlistment and signing bonuses and incentives. In this class that's graduating this year, and as I said, we are still counting. So that in itself is just, to me, a proud moment for being their principal and knowing that my staff is working with our students to show them how to go forth and how to do, and to just get the information out there, communicate to them, and just show them that there is just an array of opportunities. And that there is no limit if you have the ability or if you even have the drive to want to go forward.
Yes. Well, I think your students, I had an opportunity to meet your valedictorian and your salutatorian as well. They have that drive, that which you all are instilling in them. Before we close out, I'm going to let you share with your students, because you're coming to the end of 2018 school year. Graduation is tomorrow.
Right.
I'm going to let you close out from your heart to your students, your babies. And I know you probably get emotional, because I can see it, because I'm feeling it. But just let you close out, because everyone, if you've been watching, you can see the heart of the principal, Dr. Baker, here. You can see it from the students. This is more than Russell County. And I am just so honored to be able to be a part and to witness what our future looks like. I feel great. So I'm going to let Dr. Baker close this part of the interview out, and she's going to speak to her students.
Speak to my students.
Yes.
All I want to say to my students, as well as to my entire population, is that Russell County High School is not about one person. It's not about one aspect. It's about one vision. And as long as we follow that vision of knowing that we have a culture that promotes positivity, that promotes encouragement, and that promotes our students to always strive for their best, then that's what Russell County High School is all about. There's a new day in Russell County, period, from our school district with our superintendent down to our schools. And I think that we're all working to make sure that every student that is within our building gets what he or she needs so that they can move forth and become those productive citizens that will make this entire area better and make this entire world better. So my closing message to my students, whether you're graduating or not graduating, is continue to strive for excellence. Know that we are destined for excellence at Russell County High School, and that as long as you are respectful and you are responsible, we know you will be ready for life.
Welcome back to Street Talk. I'm Loretta Rose, and we are still here in the band room at Russell County High School. What a great moment we are having. We now have valedictorian Clea, salutatorian Grace. They have joined us in the band room with Sergio, and they're going to congratulate him, and I'm going to congratulate them, and he's going to congratulate them as well. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
He talked about you all, and you come in.
That's really sweet. I appreciate it.
Seriously, congratulations, valedictorian.
Thank you. I would like to say congratulations to them. These are my closest friends. These are people that I grew up with. I don't want to get emotional on TV.
That's okay. That's all right.
But they're really the closest people. I come to them for any advice. They're really the people that I tell everything to. So congratulations, you guys.
I know you're proud of, Sergio also.
Yeah.
You've been with him for quite a few years.
Unfortunately, no, I'm kidding. I don't know what to say. I just blanked everything in my mind.
Okay, we'll
went
pick it
away.
up. And now I'm going to ask you, what are you going to be doing after graduation?
Okay.
What's your goals? Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1.
So what's next for you, Miss Valedictorian, after graduation?
Well, Grace and I are going to UAB together. I'll be majoring in biology, and then I'll go to pharmaceutical school after that, and I'll be going to UAB.
All right, my daughter is there, so look out for her. Y'all can connect together.
Right.
Awesome. And salutatorian, Grace, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so what's for you after graduation?
Well, as she said, I am going to UAB. I'm going to jump right into studying, and I'm going to major in neuroscience. And I actually got accepted at the Honors College at UAB, so I will be in that program. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. That's the same program my daughter is in. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Great school. So what do you have to say about Sergio?
Well, Sergio and I have been friends actually for 6 years now, and ever since he was not even 5 feet tall. You see all this hair that adds to his height. I don't appreciate it, but no, he's grown as a person, and I appreciate everything that he's done for me as a friend, and I look forward to seeing what he has to do in the future.
Awesome. And I've heard you speak Spanish as well, because they were communicating with one another.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, Spanish is my first language. I moved to the
Really?
U.S. from Puerto Rico in 2007, and I learned English in the process.
Okay, I'm getting the connection. That's what you were talking about. Cool. Okay. So, what do you have to say about these beautiful ladies?
Well, first of all, congratulations to the both of them. They've both, I've really been there when they've both been struggling to pass all these different classes. Not really. They aced every single one of their tests. I'm not even lying. But other than that, they're really beautiful young ladies that have both grown as far as like academics and stuff like that. And now they're moving on to their own individual futures, and which is, I think, is something that's very beautiful, because they both have so much potential, and really now it's up to them for them to decide their own paths, their own futures, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing to see them grow up to mature even further than they already are for their own age, and really decide on how they're going to impact their own world, because she wants to be a pharmacist and she wants to be a neurosurgeon, which is already a new area of study, not only for like medical people, but also for treatment, and which is also something that is really an area that she could explore and have major discoveries. And so it's really going to be very interesting, and not only because they're my personal friends and because I care about them both very, very much, but it's going to be something interesting to keep up with the both of them and wherever their future may take them.
Awesome. Well, I'm so super proud of all of you, and you all are, all I can say is change the world. Make it better than it was when you arrived in it. And that's what you already doing. So you want to give a shout out to your teachers or Russell County High School. Give a shout out to Russell County High School before you leave.
You shouldn't ask me to go first.
Okay. A thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Just give a thank you. So, well, I'm gonna talk to him.
I can go first if you want me to.
Well, see, you're gonna close out. So
Oh,
these
okay.
two ladies, I'm gonna say they're on the move to their next. You going to another class? Are you getting
What do you
ready?
mean?
Are you all getting ready to go to another
Oh,
class?
no.
Or are you
No,
done?
we're done with
You're done.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we can just end
Don't
it
do
right
that
there
to
then.
us.
If you want to say something before.
To my
before-
teachers and to it, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, let's
Okay.
pick up again. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
All right, and the ladies, you want to say something to your teachers before you get ready to leave out here at Russell County High School?
I want to thank all the staff and all the administrators for everything that they've done, not just for believing in people just because they believe in everyone, but for actually putting forth the effort to try and communicate with us and get us to where we need to be.
Awesome. How about you?
I definitely want to thank all of my teachers, because without them, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. Because coming to school here for 8 hours, it really becomes a second home, and the people around you really impact you. So I want to say thank you.
All right, you heard it from the ladies. We're going to come back. Sergio is going to close out the show. He's going to do it American style, and he's going to speak some Spanish as well. It's Street Talk with Loretta Rose here on CTV Bean. Hi, I'm Loretta Rose, the host of Spotlight on Lee County and Street Talk. I would like to invite you to join me on Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time here on Channel 7 and 207. If you don't get a chance to catch the shows here on CTV Bean, please follow our YouTube channel at CTV Bean. You can catch all the latest episodes of Spotlight on Lee County and Street Talk with Loretta Rose. Also, you can find me on Facebook. You can go to Shine the Spotlight page, or Loretta Rose, or Street Talk with Loretta Rose. Thank you so much for watching Spotlight on Lee County and Street Talk with Loretta Rose. I look forward to seeing you out in the community. Thank you so much for tuning in to Street Talk with Loretta Rose. I hope you have been inspired today with this show. Today was a story of hope and inspiration. We thank you, Sergio, for sharing with us, being transparent, just being authentic, just being real with us about your beginnings, your process, and your now. And also taking us into the future with your inspiration. So today, I'm blessed by having the opportunity to meet you. You've helped me more than you will ever realize, because I'm walking away from this conversation with you with a mindset to stay focused, because there have been times when I was motivated and I felt like I was focused, but there were things that happened around me that kind of moved me and shift that focus a little bit. But today, talking to you, I'm walking away with like, no, this won't happen again, because I've seen you and what you had to say, and this is not going to happen again. So I'm going to take all of this knowledge and inspiration you shared, and I'm going to apply it, okay? And I hope today's show will help other people to realize that really, and many times we've said it, but it is true. Let nothing stop you. Nothing around you, even what you see, those are things that just kind of just distract you. But thank you so much again. And I'm going to let you close out speaking from your heart to the people. Also share it in Spanish as well, because we have a Spanish community or different ethnicities that may be watching. And you just take it away.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you for not only for you for coming out here and taking the time to interview me, but also for all the different people that led up to me having this opportunity. My parents, my grandparents, even though they were still in Mexico, they still supported me, and they gave me a general idea of what I wanted to do with my life and the expectations that not only did they have for me, but the ones that I should have for myself. And furthermore, I would like to thank all the faculty and staff here. Thank you, Ms. Baker, Mr. Waits, Dr. Obleton, and everybody that really helped to push me, to expose me to all these new experiences, to having my interviews, being interviewed for TV, and specifically, there's certain teachers that I feel stood out in my career to grow as a person, to grow academically, and to grow just in general. I would like to thank Miss Smith. She was my history teacher, and she really showed me that no matter how much you think you can be prepared for something, there was always something that could catch you off guard, but there will always be a way for you to not only get around that, but also get a good experience out of it. I would like to thank my calculus and pre-calculus teacher, Mr. Kissel, who showed me that you don't have to take life so seriously. Life can be as serious as it wants to be, but there is always a good side to things, and there's always a different way to do things than what you're shown initially. I would also like to thank my band director, Mr. Arcari, who showed me that really life is all about keep going, to keep pushing forward, to keep not only believing in yourself, but also to remember that you could do great things individually and also as a team, as we learned not only with concert band and symphonic band, but also in marching band, how one individual person can make a big change for a larger group of people. And to wrap things up, I would like to say thank you for all the people that believed in me, and especially to say thank you for all the people that didn't believe in me, because they were the great motivation that pushed me to not only expose my weaknesses, but expose them in a way that would make me better as a person. And for all my Hispanics out there, nomás te quería decir que sí se puede, que todo lo que tú estás diciendo, que no pueden hacer nada, que no van a hacer algo mejor que ustedes, que sí se puede, que todo es posible aquí, y especialmente por los que están aquí en América, que vinieron a este país, que donde es algo donde tienen que combatir contra el racismo de diferentes personas, del presidente, que es algo que sí se puede hacer, y yo soy una prueba de eso, y yo sé que ustedes pueden hacer aún mejor que mí. Y nomás quería decir gracias a todos los diferentes hispanos que están ahí y que me están viendo, y que hagan muchos logros más grandes que el mío. Gracias.
Wow. Can you please tell them thank you for watching Street Talk?
Thank you for watching Street Talk and for giving me this interview.
And in Spanish.
Muchas gracias por ver Street Talk y por darme esta entrevista.
You are changing the world. Thank you so much. Oh, he's so sweet. Thank you so much for watching Street Talk. It has been a pleasure. I pray that you take this and change the world. This is a story of hope and inspiration, brought to you by CTV Beam.